In this third video, I kind of want to move a little faster. The last video went a little longer than I anticipated. So what we're going to do in this one, I'm going to briefly talk to you about Adobe Bridge and some information that is in the photographs that you take. And then there are going to be three pictures that we are going to be adjusting. So we've got this Northern Lights photo, this BMX photo, and then this guy over here. So it'll be less of me talking and more of me doing. So before we do that, I just wanted to talk about Adobe Bridge. This is a good tool for you to use to upload and kind of manage your photographs. I have all of the Photoshop Project One documents in just a folder, and inside of the folder, this is all the stuff in here. But when we click on a photo, and this is a photo I took of a shirt that I printed the other day, I took it with my phone, and I'm talking about some metadata. And with the metadata, this is going to be information that's on the certification test. But basically, the metadata gives all of the information about the photo, including my camera settings. So this is f1.6. So the f-stop is 1.6 and the frame rate's 120. ISO is at 64. So it gives you this is the camera information. It also gives us GPS information, which I guess is a little scary. That we're taking photographs and it's tagging where we are with everything. So it gives us all of that information. And so if you're on your phone and you get like a notification like this time last year you were in Lake Tahoe, that's because it's using that GPS information to tag. So date and time as far as what that is. But that's Adobe Bridge. You can, so if I were to say, and I'm going to do this now, so I want to start with this or Northern Lights photo, and I want to open it up in Photoshop. So from Bridge, if I just open it up, I double click it, it's thinking. It's still thinking. There we go. So it's going to open it up directly into Photoshop. When it does this, this photograph was taken in a RAW format. And there's an acronym there. I don't have it for you. But basically, when we open it up here, if it's a RAW file, it opens it up in this kind of RAW format where we can make some adjustments. So with most photographs, we want to make some edits. This is kind of like the baby sister of Adobe Lightroom, which if you are into photography, you probably do a lot of work in Lightroom. But you can see that I'm using these scales to kind of like bring out the colors that I want and to kind of dull out the information that I don't want. So I don't want this. This is a night scene. I don't want to brighten it up to see the foreground. I really want to highlight the sky. So I'm just kind of making some adjustments. This is basic. And so you can see that there's just a ton of different adjustments that we can make. And you don't necessarily want to go too crazy because you could really blow out the picture in a hurry. But just make some minor adjustments and then don't hit done, hit open when you're ready. And then it'll open it up in Photoshop. If you open it up in Photoshop and then you're like, oh, I want to make some adjustments, I don't have it in RAW, you can always go back to filter, camera raw filter, and then it gets you back to that window. And you make your adjustments and then hit OK. All right, so like in the last video, we're going to straighten it out. So we're going to grab the crop tool. We're going to hit the word straighten or the little icon straighten. It's highlighted. And then drag across the horizon line of where you want it to be straight. It straightens it up. We got to commit the action. And there we go. Second thing we're going to do is we got these people over here kind of getting in our way. And I want to use the content aware fill to be able to remove these people. And to do that, we're going to grab our lasso tool. We're going to lasso just the area around those people. We get the marching ants. And we are going to go to edit, content aware fill. This is cool in a couple different ways. So you can kind of see image on the right is what it's going to look like. Image on the left is the information that it's grabbing. So you can see that there's this green area. And then we have, this is a brush setup. So we've got a plus sign and a minus sign. So, we can see, okay, well, what if it's not grabbing information from all over the picture and it's grabbing information from just around where these people are? And then you can kind of, it'll wait, it'll do its thing. And then you can see it's obviously different. That doesn't quite look right. So maybe I'll add some back around the bottom here. It's thinking, it's making some changes. Well, maybe I need to add some more because it's kind of getting the sky a little funky. Okay, well, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to hit OK, output to new layer. And this is important because now it's gone. We have the marquee or the marching ant still. To get rid of that, Control D on the PC, Command D on the Mac. D is in dog, and that is to deselect. But if I go into my layers, you can see that we have some, we didn't destroy the photograph at all. Those guys are still there. We're just covering it up, which makes it pretty cool. So this is a non-destructive way to get rid of people. And then the other thing that we're going to do, we're going to do some other non-destructive stuff. So we're going to add an adjustment layer. And let's go to vibrance. So, you can make it kind of dull or you can make it really vibrant. It's up to you. Just make some changes. I'm going to make another adjustment, and let's go to hue saturation. Again, usually a little goes a long way. And now, so you have two different layer adjustments. You can click them off, say, oh, that's the original, and that's the edited version. That looks great. Now we're going to export this. So file, export, quick export as PNG. We already have those set up already. We're just doing one size. I have this folder that I'm saving it to. We can name it Northern Lights. Save. If you're not in Bridge and you want to open up a file, file open. So we're going to open a new file. We're just going to rapid fire these. Next one is going to be the BMX. Okay, so for this one, it is a little askew, and we've got this guy right here we want to get rid of. So we'll grab the cropping tool, we'll straighten this out, we'll just straighten it up to that line right there, we'll hit the commit button. We still have this phone in the way. We're going to grab the marquee tool, we'll drag around the phone, we'll go to edit content aware fill. It'll think about it. That does a really good job of getting rid of that guy. We'll hit apply it to new layer. Hit OK. And that's gone. We got this little piece right down here. Control D to deselect that piece. Go into your layers. Make sure that you are on the correct layer. Grab your spot healing brush. Increase the size using your brackets. Drag around that little dude right there, and that's gone. That's destructive. So we just destroyed that little piece, but there you go. Again, we're going to export this. Quick export. I went into export. So say we want two sizes. Let's go and wait for the PNG to load. We'll do one at a quarter size. We'll hit add. We'll do another one at 1/10 of the size. Hit export. Desktop. I'm going to go to student files, select folder, and there they go. Last up, file, open. This time we're going to do I got him here. This time we're going to go to this dude. And I did it in Bridge, so I'm going to go ahead and make some adjustments right now for you. If you found them and opened them up in from the downloads and you don't have it in Bridge, you can go to here, I'll hit open and we'll show you. So if you open up the file and you want to get into the camera raw, go to filter, camera raw filters. And then you can make some adjustments. So I'm just going to warm them up a little bit. I'm going to increase the exposure and contrast. I'm really trying to bring out the creases in his face. You don't have to do all of them if you don't want to. Hit OK. So this is pretty dramatic. We can also add some adjustment layers. Actually, let's straighten this guy out first. So, this is looking pretty good, but the eyeballs are a little off. And so watch the difference. If I go from eyeball to eyeball and straighten those things out and then hit commit, it just definitely makes it look a little more symmetrical. If I create a layer adjustment, and maybe I'll do exposure. And I'll add another one. We'll do hue saturation. Actually, we won't do hue saturation. If you don't like any of them, just hit the delete button. And let's go. Add another layer adjustment. Let's go to curves. So in curves, you can kind of see, you can grab multiple points. All right. These are layer adjustments. So say I want to bring out a color. I'm using your brush tools. Black hides, white reveals. So I want to reveal kind of the whiteness of his eyes. Kind of see it's brightening up there. I'm going to do the same thing here. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm going to hide the layer, information on the layer. There we go. There we are. His eyes really make a statement. So I'm going to bring some of that color back in his eyes. So you can kind of see now it's masked off of that adjustment on those two layers. Okay, last one. Let's get that exported. Export as. I'll hit cancel. We'll go to quick export. File, export, quick export as a PNG, goes to our files here. We'll name it eyes and save. There you are. That is it. This is it for the rest of that project one. Go ahead and submit all those files and you are good to go.